Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, welcome everyone. I am this Sarge, and welcome to the Morning Shot. I'm not joined by J Mac today, but I am joined by none other than Crispy Bacon. He is another analyst on this network, and he's with the Four Bros and Between the Ropes and everything else. Chris, I'm just going to give you the floor here for a moment. You tell us. I just want to say welcome to the show, to the Morning Shot. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Not too bad this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. This is one of the most a calmer show than the Four Bros shows because you can also see Crispy Bacon on the Four Bros as well. But we have a good analyst that came onto or we do have someone that does a show with the Queen, we call her, on the Coast to Coast network with Joanne, and his name is Bodine, and he has a book out there. Chris, you have that shot right there. He has a book.
I do.
All right, so he has a book. You need to check it out. It's actually endorsed by the Big East Conference. It's available on Amazon. I think it's like $20 or something like that. It's called the book is called Race Against Raced. You need to check it out. Order it. I read kind of like the epilogue, whatever you call it, the beginning of it, and it seems very interesting. And a known fact about Bodine is he's a Villanova fan, and I do have a bone to pick with Bodine, and I've mentioned that on his show, but that's something totally different right there. So, all right, so let's get this party started, Chris. So, the college came out with their top four for the playoffs. You got Georgia at number 1. I forget who's at number 2. You got Alabama.
Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, and Ohio State.
And right there on the number 5 spot is that Cinderella team that's I've been calling them since the start. It is Cincinnati Bearcats. What do you think of the Cincinnati Bearcats of this year, Chris?
Cincinnati's been really good this year. They're 10-1 or 10-0, I should say. Are they better than the other teams? I think so. Maybe you put it, somewhere between 2, 3, and put Cincinnati between 2, 3, and 4. I think, along with Georgia, but I think you probably bump somebody like Alabama out. They've been there too much.
Okay, so do you think that Cincinnati should they be in that top 4?
I think so. I think they should. I mean, a bunch of other stuff has to happen too, and all that. It's more of an opinion thing, but I think they deserve that top 4 spot.
Okay, I have to kind of agree with you on that one because Cincinnati is 1 out of 3 teams that have an unbeaten schedule so far, and yet you have 2 teams that are like in the top 4 that are already in the playoff spot. You have Alabama, who lost a game, and you have Oregon, who has lost a game, and Ohio State, actually.
Yeah.
So all 3 of those teams have lost a game except for Georgia, but yet we still have 2 teams out on the top 25 that has not lost a game. Do you think that something needs to change with the college football rankings? Because in my opinion, if you're 10-0, you're 10-0. You're better than the team that has that 1 loss right there. What's your thoughts on that?
I think if you're 10-0, you should be in the playoffs automatically, unless there's like the tiebreaker situation. But I mean, overall, I think something does need to change. I think it should be more structured instead of more like opinion based, because everybody that's in that room, filling out their rankings, it's all opinion based, and everybody has a reason why this team should be in over this team, and this team should be ranked over this team. It's just basically, opinion based, and they can make any decision and any reason they want.
So do they need to? So I think I know they go off of the what you call it, the strength of schedule.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that I think something needs to be really tweaked on that so they can actually be proficient at it or be more better at it? What's your thoughts on that? Because do you remember the BCS rankings?
I do. They're horrible too.
They were horrible, and I think like the playoffs is just putting a band-aid over it. I mean, let's extend those playoffs because look at what Cincinnati did last year versus Georgia. They almost beat Georgia at their own game, and I mean they're pretty much the two same teams as this year than they were last year. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I could see that, but I think like in other sports, you got different, tiebreaker scenarios, and I think they should do something like that in college. I mean, they mainly work on conference rank or records. I think they should do that, and then if there's a tie there, go to overall records and maybe break a tie, that way, and then so on and so forth. But I mean, I could see this team being almost the same as last year's.
All right, that is true. And honestly, they actually have a tough matchup today. Cincinnati does against SNU. I think you might be a little bit familiar with SMU. I think they're down where you're
Yep,
at.
they are.
Do you think Cincinnati can pull off a win today against a proficient SMU team?
I'd like to see the storyline continue of Cincinnati being undefeated, but it's going to be a tough test going up against SMU. They have a good team. They've been, good for the last few years, and at one point SMU was defeated as well. Uh, I think a couple weeks ago or a week ago. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But for either team, it's going to be a good win for them.
Okay, well, I honestly think that, I mean, we usually pick an upset within the top 25. I'm going to go with mine, and unfortunately, this is going to be my upset. Unfortunately, I think Cincinnati's Cinderella game is going to be, or Cinderella season is going to end. What do you think in the top 25? Who is going to be the upset during that time?
Right now, I could see that Cincinnati game being an upset.
Being upset.
Yeah.
All right. So we're on the gradients here. So with that being said, we're gonna move over a little bit to the baseball side because on the baseball side we covered the what should we call it the annual awards per se with that one. Did the voters get it right? That is my question to you, sir. Did the voters get it right with Bryce Harper and what's the other guy's name? Shohei Ohtani. Do you think they got it right?
I feel like they got it right. I mean, those are the top two names we heard most this past baseball season, and I'm sure we're going to hear them, next season. So I feel like they got it right. Do you think so?
I really don't think so because, Bryce Harper was not in any of the top. He is in one of the top 5 in the batting stats, and that his batting average at 309. That's where I'm at on that one, and I think that I think they got Ohtani right because what he did on the mound and also batting. I mean, he was like a freak out there, and I mean on our on deck show when we first started there, I said Juan Soto would be the MVP, and he came in like second with Tatis coming on third. So I do not know how Harper got the MVP voting because I don't know what he did with that team and so forth. And we got Barber chimed in and saying he wants a shot of whiskey. There you go. That was actually from last night, but and then he's saying that they were wrong on Harper, which I agree with that. What about you?
I don't know. Adam's saying wrong on Harper. I don't think he's liking the decision. So
No, I didn't like the decision. I'm not a Bryce Harper fan. I will tell you this right now. I am not a fan of his. I don't like his demeanor or anything else. But they got it wrong. I believe Juan Soto should have got it. And who's the guy who played for the Braves that injured his knee? Is it?
You start with an M. I know that much.
It's like I can't. Off the top of my brain is not doing so well about that one. So let me see if I can find that really fast. Unless Adam, you're still there and you can tell us which player, high profile player that got injured there, because I know you're a Braves fan.
But yeah, I mean,
Orlando Arcadia. That's who was kind of moving up in the rankings and so forth, I believe. Not Orlando Arcadia.
That's what Adam said.
Oh yeah. Okay. So thank you, Adam.
Acuna.
Or Acuna. All right. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. But I thought he was going to be deep down, I thought he was going to be the MVP of the season. The way he was playing, then he suffered a horrible injury, which I think is sad. I hate when players get injured, even though I don't care for the player herself. Who did you think should have really actually got that, Chris?
I don't know. It was I'm not sure. That's a tough decision there. I wouldn't want to be in the same room, voting because, I mean, I know it's the most votes and all that, but you can make a case for any of them, I guess.
That's true. And how many times has Harper has been ejected from baseball games as well? Because
a lot, probably.
A lot with that. So with that being said, I think we kind of squashed that, and we're going to move on to the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, Adam, you're right. And after he leaves the Phillies, I think the Phillies will win the World Series also. I think he's their good luck charm after he leaves. So that's how I feel about that. But all right, so we're going to move on to the Thursday night football game with the New England Patriots versus the Falcons. Did you watch the game?
I did, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I'm a Panther fan. I'm a Carolina Panther fan, and I don't want to see the Falcons to win. Okay, but the way I saw Matt Ryan play or his offensive line, I felt bad for the guy. He just looked defeated on the sidelines. He's like, I can't do anything with that. And it was all that offensive line with that crushing him. And also, we brought this up on the Four Bros radio show, is saying that the Falcons had 3 quarterbacks throw an interception. And this is the second time that the Falcons have done that. And the last time they did it was in 1991. When they did it, were 3 different quarterbacks threw an interception. So does Matt Ryan ask for a trade from here? What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Either a trade or a release, I think, is probably what he's going to ask for. I think he's going to ask for a trade first. If they don't approve of that, he'll probably just say, I just want to totally walk out. I want to leave, I mean, he had a good run in Atlanta. He started off with, good things happening when he was drafted. And I don't know, as time went on, things just got worse and worse. And I think a new, scenery, a new team may help him revitalize his career.
Okay, and during the draft, they went out and to get a tight end in Kyle Pitts. And because Julio Jones left the team, I think that the Falcons actually made a mistake with that pick. They were not focusing on Matt Ryan, because if you give Matt Ryan the time, he's a great quarterback. That's how I feel about him. Even though, like I said, he's on the Falcons team. He's a good quarterback. So
If
it
he's
was
going
very
to Carolina, I'm just kidding.
yeah. I mean, Carolina has their all. So yeah, speaking of Carolina, they actually have given up the most sacks in the league. So I don't know that if that will go better for him whatsoever. So Adam Barber saying that they won't release him because the Falcons are stuck with $40 million in dead cap space because he has guaranteed money. I mean, that guaranteed money is very brutal for teams, kind of like Kirk Cousins for the Vikings because his is like 85 million, something like that.
Ooh,
Um,
that's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. So Mac Jones, he was playing that night against the
Falcons.
against the Falcons, and he is the only rookie quarterback with Trey Lance. I know someone on another network is in love with Trey Lance. And Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like with all those bodies combined or players combined, Mac Jones has the best record by himself against all the other rookie quarterbacks with Lawrence and everyone else.
Everybody. Yeah.
Do you think Mac Jones will win Rookie of the Year?
Ooh. At this point, probably. I know he's probably, and I know there's not a category for it, but he's probably the best rookie quarterback this year. I mean, coming out of the draft, he's probably the better quarterback of them. The Patriots are finding a way to win. Bill Belichick has done that for years, even before Brady, and even with him. I think he's in the running for Rookie of the Year.
So did okay, so I'm going to point it. Did the San Francisco 49ers get it wrong with Trey Lance? Because Mac Jones was available during that time. And he was heavily linked to San Francisco.
I don't know if, I mean, from glimpses of what I saw from, you know, of Trey Lance in San Francisco, it seems like he's been playing pretty well when he's out there. He needs some improvement, and I think with more playing time, he could get it. Garoppolo is just playing. I mean, not bad, but not good. But I think his time's going to be up soon in San Francisco, and you're going to try to find a way to get Trey Lance to play. So I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out if it is a wrong decision for San Francisco.
Okay, then Adam Barber's kind of chiming in on his picks. He's saying either Mac Jones or Jamar Chase to win the Rookie of the Year. And let's not forget that Mac Jones has Belichick as a coach, which puts him at advantage. And Belichick is a great coach. I mean,
unless when he had Cam Newton, he wasn't. But
Cam Newton does what Cam Newton wants to do, and that's the issue with Cam Newton with that one. So I'm going to give my take on my NFL or the Rookie of the Year who's going to be. I am going to say it is going to be someone on the Cowboys. Do you know who I'm thinking?
Oh, Parsons.
Yes, I'm thinking Parsons because he has 58 tackles, 6 sacks. 11 of those tackles are for a loss, 1 fumble, and 2 pass deflects, which, I mean, it's pretty good. I think he's a leading candidate for the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And on the offensive side, it has to be Jamar Chase because he has 44 receptions with over 800 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. I mean, that's who I am picking on the Rookies of the Years. Do you have one for the defensive?
Ooh. My defense would be Parsons. I mean, he's playing really good, and Cowboys have been playing really well. Offensive, it's probably going to be between Mac Jones and Jamar Chase. I can see one of them, winning it.
All right. When we were talking about San Francisco back there, Adam was chiming in that Jimmy G is done in San Francisco after the season. I
That's
don't
what
even
I'm
know.
thinking.
I don't know why he's even playing. So that's mine. And maybe in your dreams, Adam. Maybe in your dreams, I'll win it before you will. So we're gonna go to our next topic here. So we had the Oakland Raiders. They left for Las Vegas
Yes.
because they couldn't get another deal done at the facility. Now there are rumors circling around the Oakland Athletics for the MLB that they're looking to land to buy in Las Vegas. Will the Oakland in the next 5 years will Oakland move to Las Vegas?
I don't know about Las Vegas, but I think they will move in the next 5 years. I mean, unless they get, you know, better attendance and better play on the field. But uh, as for right now, I think so. I think they're planning their way out, and um, it's just going to be a matter of time. I think.
All right, so I heard horror stories about the Coliseum that like the bathrooms don't work and they flood and all that stuff. Um, and I think Oakland can be up for the running for the worst sports city ever, all across the board. Granted that the Warriors are a more on the winning side since Steph Curry was there.
Or
Since
they
he's
just
there,
got a new arena.
oh yeah, they're now in San Francisco. They're actually
Yeah.
across the bay now. So yeah, I think I think the Oakland is the worst sports city among like I'll put Seattle in there because the Mariners haven't done anything. And same with the Seahawks, kind of. But I mean, Oakland. I mean, without Stephen Curry, the Warriors were nothing. I mean,
Right.
then the A's they just were just playoffs teams that could just make the playoffs and just fail right at the end. Then you got the Oakland, Then you got the Oakland Raiders that are just, they're the Raiders. And I didn't get that memo, so it's probably very deep in my emails, Adam. So thank you for that update on
How
that
much
one.
do we had to pay for that?
I don't know. If we could keep Billy Bean, I would appreciate that. I mean, I actually like the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually played football actually with John Elway. I don't know if you knew that.
Cool. I didn't know.
Yeah, down in Stanford. Yep.
Huh.
Or baseball, one of those two. I know Elway played baseball in college. It's something like that. There's a connection between those two. Let's put it that way. And it's not car dealerships with that. All right. So this is the part where we get to do take your morning shot. And no, we're not talking about that kind of shot. So my morning shot is the freaking college standings. I cannot understand how in the world that you can have a team that is undefeated and not in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs. Yes, you are. Yeah, even though you don't have the strength of schedule, but I think the community does not want one of those Power 5 schools. Just want the Power 5 schools in those playoffs because they want the ratings and stuff and so forth. And I'm ignoring that comment, by the way. So with that, like, I don't understand how college football actually. I want to know how they like put everything into the system, saying, yeah, this team doesn't belong in the playoffs, even though the other teams have lost one game. This team hasn't lost any games. I mean, it drives me nuts. The BCS was even worse, and this is now starting to drive me nuts even further because this was the same issue with I believe it was Universal of Central Florida. I believe it was with the Golden Knights. Like they were like undefeated, and they were like they were up and coming. I think they were ranked number 5 as well. Even though, go ahead.
I was gonna say they're like, we're the champions, and I remember that whole thing of like we're national champions in our eyes and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, expand the playoffs at least, or something like that. I mean, and look at Cincinnati; they almost beat Georgia last year, and I honestly think college football does not want any of the teams that are not in the Power 5 conferences to not be in there. That's
Right.
what my take is. I honestly think it is a conspiracy against them because all they want is the ratings because that's where the money is. And they don't care about the actual win and loss records. They just care about strength of schedule. Yeah, Georgia almost lost. Look at Michigan. Who did Michigan lose to? They lost to Michigan State. There was another, and look at
Yeah.
Washington. The Washington Huskies lost to a team in the FCS. In the
Now, that's bad when
FCS,
you. I mean,
my
they're-
Montana Grizzlies beat the Washington Huskies.
wow.
So I want to give you. All right, it's your turn
Uh-huh.
to take a shot. I almost got a little heated there, and no, I'll talk to my union reps, Adam, about being a janitor.
It's a little kind of in the same general topic as you're mentioning about college football. Mine is adding or kind of changing the playoff system because I kind of agree with Adam. It is broken. My suggestion is having the conference winners, make it into playoffs. And for those conferences that have divisions within them, whoever wins that conference championship automatically gets into the playoffs. So basically, all the conference winners are in the playoffs. I think that's about 11 or 12 teams, and I think it'd be more competitive.
All right, so you got the morning shot right here on the morning shot with that. So it is that time, Chris, that we are going to be headed out here. I just want to say thank you for coming on to the morning shot.
No problem.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds to a minute.
Thank you everyone for watching, tuning in. We got great shows here at Coast to Coast. We're changing some things, but all of the shows are still going to be on, and we thank you all for watching. Tomorrow we have the morning tailgate and between the ropes, so tune in for that. And tonight we have Sports Minute.
All right, you heard that from Crispy B Bacon. And also, do not forget, go to Coast to Coast Entertainment Network.com. That is Coast to Coast Entertainment Network.com. And that too is the number 2. So it's Coast, the number 2, Coast. So don't forget about that. I am the Sarge. Thank you for coming on and watching the show. Thank you, Adam, for all the comments. Crispy Bacon, thank you again for coming onto the show. We will catch you next week on the Morning Shot.